Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, good day to you. That's depending where you are in the world. I'm here live in London doing a nighttime devotion from the devotional Conflict and Courage by Ellen White. The title today, First Things First. Matthew 6:33. But seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. This promise will never fail. We cannot enjoy the favor of God unless we comply with the conditions upon which his favor is bestowed. By so doing, there will come to us that peace, contentment, wisdom that the world can neither give nor take away. A humble mind, a grateful heart will elevate us above rivals and real difficulties. The less earnest, energetic, vigilant we are in the service of the Master, the more will the mind dwell upon self and magnifying molehills into mountains of difficulty. The burden of God's work upon Moses, who was laid upon him, made him a man of power, while keeping for so many years the flocks of Jethro. He gained an experience that taught him true humility. The command to deliver Israel seemed overwhelming, but in the fear of God, Moses accepted the trust. Mark the result. He did not bring the work down to his deficiency, but in the strength of God, he put forth the most earnest efforts to elevate and sanctify himself for his sacred mission. Moses would never have been prepared for his position of trust had he waited for God to do the work for him. Light from heaven will come to those who feel the need of it and who seek for it as for hidden treasures. But if we sink down into a state of inactivity, willing to be controlled by Satan's power, God will send his inspiration to us. God will not send his inspiration to us. Unless we exert to the utmost the powers which he has given us, we shall ever remain weak and inefficient. Much prayer and the most vigorous exercise of mind are necessary if we would be prepared to do the work which God would entrust to us. Many never attain to the position which they might occupy because they wait for God to do for them that which he has given them the power to do for themselves. All who are fitted for usefulness in this life must be trained by the severest mental and moral discipline, and then God will assist them by combining divine power with human effort. Wrong habits are not overcome by a single effort. Only through long and severe struggle is self mastered. First things first. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and then all these things will be added unto you. I was speaking to a friend today, and we were talking about you can't expect changes to happen in your life unless you make the change for the changes to happen. If you've got aspects in your life that you're not happy with, you either hope something happens for the change to happen, or you make the changes yourself. Likewise, if you feel you have a calling to do God's work, we have to make that effort to fulfill that role. Even if that is not our calling, making that effort points us in a direction that would take us possibly in the right direction. But unless we start walking in some direction, we won't go anywhere. You have to take the first step. Of course, that requires a lot of prayer and inspiration. You always have to be on the alert for opportunities, some you would never think of, that might come your way. It's happened a lot in my life. And you just have to be ready to say, okay, let's go. Working for God is being alert for these opportunities. And even if you don't feel you're qualified, God qualifies you, even if you don't realize it. Many a time you'll step forward into an arena you've never been before. It might be hard at first because you don't understand, or you don't feel qualified, don't have the knowledge or information. But a quality you do have, that God has equipped you with, will kick in, and everything else will fall into place eventually, if not straight away. But there's probably a lot of habits you have, wrong habits. They're not overcome just because you want them to be overcome. It's a long road to overcome habits, bad habits, and also to introduce new habits. And that's conscious effort. But much conscious effort soon becomes subconscious or unconscious effort and becomes routine. Get started. Be of God.